So she and I are on a list together. Who you did. Yeah. She was like...
Welcome, we're here at the 010 in Art Basel. It's the first time premiering the 010 at Art Basel, and we are from Bitforms Gallery this year in cooperation with Max Estrella from Madrid. Bitforms, we are located in New York City, and we're exhibiting this year Rafael Lozano-Hemmer. He has been working with Bitforms Gallery and the gallery owner Steve Sachs for almost 20 years, so they have a really strong connection, doing works together and art. This one is called Broken Mirror Ono, and it's a broken mirror. And what is really interesting about it is that almost in every culture, a broken mirror is kind of a sign for bad luck or bad omen. So this is quite internationally known that you should not shatter a glass. So you can see here that it is shattered, but we were wondering, especially the artist Rafael was wondering, what if the broken mirror has still got a story to tell, and how can you reach the story in it? And Rafael, the artist, was thinking maybe it's just about a perspective of it. So if you consider yourself standing in front of the broken mirror, you would immediately think, oh my God, this is bringing me bad luck. This is nothing good happening over here. But then you figure there's a sentence written to it. And this sentence is only accessible if you stand in a certain perspective to it. So he was really interested in the perspective through the art piece, or like to the brokenness. Some people we had over here were going really up close, really looking from left and right, and quite always searching for their own image, because they were using it as a mirror. But this is not a mirror. I mean, it is, but people are so used to just going for the kind of narcissistic gaze in the art piece. So they were standing up here, and we say sometimes it's quite impossible to see yourself in a mirror. Some guys actually found a shortcut. They were really tall, so they could see themselves in it, but it's not supposed to show yourself. It's rather about a story it tells. So you can see there's some fragments of words next to it. And if you stand here and look into it, or like from the upper side to the below side, you cannot really see the word or like the wholeness of it. So it's just really a poetic and ontological question and philosophical question about a perspective to the shattered art piece, or like the shattered object in front of you. So if you find this right perspective, you can find a position for yourself to the brokenness to it. So this is really an interesting start for thinking, or like to relating to Rafael Lozano-Hemmer's point of view, because it's all about perspective and it's all about an interaction between the art piece and also the visitors. So this one is called Spectral Subjects. It is a thermal camera installed over here, and now you can see already people trying to work with that. And that again is really interesting in the creation. People kind of like use it as well as a mirror, as they use it up here. They try to make it work in reaction one-on-one, but it's not working one-on-one quietly. It's like they're standing here, trying to move it around. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But what is really important, this captures the kind of energy, it captures the temperature. And paradoxically, as we know, usually we think of the reddest part, or like the darkest part is usually the warmest part, but actually this time it's the other way around. So the white dots, the whitest part of the face and everything, is the warmest part, and the red part is the coldest part of it. It has a memory space in it, it has storage for a lot of people. So if you consider buying it, if you consider hanging up in your living room back at home, it comes with a black screen, there's nothing in it. So again, this is really interactional with people. If imaginably you have like a husband or wife and 2 kids and pets like dog or cats or whatever, you could use a kind of a family portrait. And this always comes up with a memory space in that way if you have friends over, or like the grandmother or anything. And even if they go home later at night, they still will show up here again. So if you have like grandmother and she will eventually die, she will randomly pop up later on. And then you have the choice to interact with the ghost. Because yeah, it memorizes everyone who is ever in front of you. So it's like a photo album in a way. And it's really interactive and immersive as well. You can play with the ghosts as well. And yeah, now I'm standing here and it's interesting. But late at night when we close the exhibition, or like in the last 5 minutes, there's not much going on anymore here. Still, there's no one in here, but still we will see people who has visited before. And it's really interesting because you can sort of like feel the energy through the temperature still. So it's really interactive, but it always refers back to the human touch and the humanity of it. So yeah. Also, this is what he's also doing with that, but this is a memorial piece. This is much more a political kind of piece. It is called Pulse Agglomerate. And yeah, somebody's doing it right now. This one has 100 heartbeats of Ukrainians in it. It's 100 heartbeats from Donetsk, the Ukrainian city. In 2013, Rafael Lozano-Hemmer was doing an installation in Ukraine, in Donetsk, and he captured 100 heartbeats in an installation called Pulse Room. So shortly after, the Russians invaded that space and invaded that kind of performing space and that area in general. So it was really hard. Some people got killed from the 100 heartbeats, the person who were joining before. So he collected the 100 heartbeats as an audio and started to do that as well, that piece. So now it is a backpack, and 2 years ago at the Biennale Venice, he had a performer with him, and the performer was going around through Venice with a backpack on it and collecting heartbeats from the public. So now what is possible, I'm going to present it to you. You can actually hold your hand up here below about 10 to 15 centimeters. We just have to wait now. And then you can slowly already hear my heartbeat, my pulse coming up, also flickering in the same rhythm as my heartbeat with the lights. And this will go on and go on as long as I have my hand below it. I'm going to remove it now. After I removed it, it will shut off. So here there's one light bulb coming up, the second one, and it surely enlights every other heartbeat. So now what is happening? This has a really big storage for a lot of heartbeats. It will cumulate with the other heartbeats. So the 100 heartbeats of the Ukrainian performers before are not going to be erased at all. So you can now hear all the heartbeats mixed together as a sound installation. So now your heartbeat is stored here as well, together with the memorial of the 100 heartbeats of people who mostly have died before. Yeah, that's really an important piece because it has such a political dimension of the visibility. And also Rafael Lozano-Hemmer, the artist, was saying, if we should end up in a world that is where robots and any other like technology is soon to be living among us, you can always check if you are connecting with a human, because it only detects human. And that's really interesting because it has a technology that is used in the hospitals as well, of course, with some other stuff changed. But if you have this clamp at a hospital, it detects also your pulse and detects your heart rate and oxygen and everything. So this one detects just like the blood vessels, and from the blood vessels it detects your pulse. So yeah, this is that piece. And then we will end up here. This one is the newest piece. It's called Black Hole. It's actually premiering here at Art Basel 010. And it's really interesting because the whole installation right now, everything from the gallery, he describes it as a panoptic chiasma, which means we are also in a panoptical kind of surveillance state. So what's interesting here, people who are standing here in the row, the surveillance camera catches someone from here. So we don't know who it will catch up. But this is kind of a standard surveillance camera, of course programmed in a way that Rafael does it. And it catches somebody. So it's kind of like it's between narcissism and surveillance. So people will come up here, stand for like 20 minutes in front, now my face is showing, and just will wait until their face will come up. But they don't care, first of all, whether the data is somewhere being used, whether they got watched or anything. So they much rather like to be watched up here than instead of like thinking about where the data is based or what will happen or whatever. I can tell you there's no data in, it's just a facial recognition happening in the real lifetime. So as soon as you go away, it's not capturing you, it's nowhere stored. Because as far as I understood Rafael, he's really not really techno-optimist. He is a critique as well, using AI, using the same technique. He is saying he has to take over, he has to work with AI because it's undeniably that we live in that age of AI and technology, so we have to use it in the art world as well. But not as a fan, you know, not as like a, he's into it in a way, but he has to comment on it using that same technology. So here you can see also what is really interesting from the side, you can see it has like a satellite kind of shape, so like it's a standard shape of, you would think of like the 60s when they had like this, yeah, satellites everywhere, and it's like the CIA, FBI kind of like visualizes. And also you have the spiral, and this spiral can remind you as well to the archetype of hypnosis from the psychoanalysis from 1920s, because when you think back to 100 years ago and you had this idea of turning people into hypnosis, you have this black-white shaped spiral, and it shows it gives you the gaze to the face, and it will end you up in that hypnosis. So this also refers to that back, and it's really interesting because also the neon lights, it's 150 meters of the neon lights, and the neon lights here refers to almost every other public institution, because this neon light is used in like hospitals and clubs and in public rooms, in buildings, in offices and whatever. So this refers also to like the everyday life where we're being surveilled. Again, my face. So people just stand here and wait, and they don't even care what will happen with their picture. So it's like a comment on, people, as long as they get something out of it, which nurtures their own narcissistic self or like their own self-imagery, they like to be surveilled and watched, so they don't care about that.
Diese Kamera sucht jetzt aber Gesichter in unserer Reihe. Das kann so 20, 30 Sekunden dauern. Das heißt, genau. Und hier ist es tatsächlich so, dass diese